Come to this session. The topic for this session is further on nature and divinity. Nature and divinity are actually states that I consider lost in human life on earth because this world, that is 5,105 years ago, up to 2012, is what I consider the world where man and woman, or Adam and Eve, we are standing outside the Garden of Eden. But from 2012 up to the next 1,000, the next 5,105 years, man and woman, or Adam and Eve, are back into the Garden of Eden. So nature and divinity are together and they are one and the same thing. Because if you don't if you don't enter a state of nature, the state of real nature, you cannot approach divinity. And so those who are in religion and in science are not at all in nature, and they are not also capable of approaching divinity. That is why they are often in a paradox, in a state of contradiction, in states of confusion and conflict, in states of war and warfare. Because when you are in this state, the brain is low, the brain is down to 3 or 2 or 0, or 1%. So that's where you are true. If you're dealing with science, you're dealing with religion. Because religion is a state of hypnosis. Science is a state of psychoanalysis. These are the states which exist in if you do common sense reasoning and common sense rationality. Those two states, because those are the states of memory and states of imagination, where the pattern is not at all related to male and female, not talk of the intra-human state. They are states that have to do with cause and effect and subject and object. They are states that have to do with past and future. Religious state is a state of pastology. That is a state dealing with past and pastology, dealing with pastors and theologians. Pastors and theologians only deal with the past, only deal with deity, which is a state of a human being in the past, a human being who lived in the past. They don't teach about a human being who is existing now in the physical, who is embodied and interbodied. Because for a divine being, for you to be divine and natural, you have to be in the embodied state, in the state where you are. And embodied state places you in the here and now. In the embodied state places you in the present. So the present and the moment are not popular states in this era, because we are more often than not in past and future, in before and after. That's what we do. So when you are in this state, time and space is another name. And when you are in this state, you find that you are not really in the natural state. What dominates the individual in the in the superficial state and the artificial state is fear, is doubt, is worry, is sin, is affliction, is disease, is unease, is guilt, is noise making, is crudeness. So these are religious states and the scientific state. But because most individuals who who go to this religious place they know. Most individuals who are intelligent and who are courageous, they tell you that look, this thing is not good. This is not what I am. They are sad because if you have headache or maybe a loved one is sick, they can't heal you. You see the loved one, somebody you love very much, die. You see somebody you admire very much, like a good friend, a very wonderful friend who has done a lot for you, pass on. You see your wife, a great wife, pass on. So these things happen, and these are these are things you suffer if you are trapped in the state of religion and in the state of science. Science and religion are superficial, sorry, artificial and superficial. They are not natural. What we call, natural, meta-natural, and supernatural. And then you enter the divine level. You have what we call the divine, the meta-divine, and the super divine. That is the super being, where the super being exists, where the super being lives in you, within you. Because the only Satan that exists on earth is the physical body. That is the costume. That is the garment that the divine being has put on. If you step out of the physical body and see the physical body lying there on a couch or in bed, you see that you see yourself as a divine being. That's when you realize you are a divine being, because it is easy to step out of the physical body and see yourself lying down there. See the physical body lying down there. So you are not physical. I am not physical at all. That's physics and all this is the for science. They are not physical, and those things are not in keeping with what Africans knew 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago, if you look at ancient Egypt, study what was there in ancient Egypt. Ancient Egyptians deal with the heart. They talk about the human heart. But Europe, that came to Africa and colonized Africans, talk about the human mind. The human mind is the fallen state of human life on earth. While the human heart is the reason and ascended state of human life on earth. So this today, the natural state and the divine state is no longer popular. In Africa, most Africans who are sensitive, they feel it. They realize that this thing that we are doing from Europe is not okay. Many Africans are not happy, and African states are down now. And if you understand or come to know what was done to Africans before Africans descended to this level, and Africans cannot cope, cannot practice this state, this present state of religion and science, because it is not a natural state. They are fallen states. But if you get integrated and get reintegrated into the middle way, into the narrow way, into the heart way, that's where you wake up. Because that is the state of the stage. Africans were great stages. We are wonderful. If you travel to ancient Egypt and see what is there, and the ancient Benin Empire and all those places, they had wonderful things which were looted and taken away from Africa. You don't steal from somebody who is smaller than you, who is weaker than you. You steal from someone you envy, from someone who has wealth. And Africa was raped. Africa was, maltreated. Africa, most things that were in Africa were taken away by people who didn't have those things. And today they are studying those things and learning, and they cannot still get it. But why they cannot get it? Because they are religious people. They are people of religion, people of science. And science is not reality. Science is not realism. Science is theism. Sorry, science is scientism, and religion is theism. Theism is activated by words. It's theism deals with words. Theism deals with ABC. Theism deals with information. Just like science, which deals with number, 1, 2, 3, and information about 1, 2, 3, information about words. So science deals with the authority or the expert or the specialist of number, and religion deals with the God or the deity of word. So it is word that creates the God that you are encouraged to worship, because the God you worship in religion, you don't know it, and you are encouraged because you are already hypnotized. They encourage you to worship what you don't know, and to respect what you don't know, and to give your money to because of what you don't know, to what cannot help you, to what has come get your country to fall down, like Nigeria has fallen down, a great country, Africa, all over the place, falling down because you are worshiping and fearing what you don't know, what is mysterious, what is secret. You fear it, you fear even pastor, you fear ignorant things, doing religion, doing all those things. So you fear them because you are not in a normal state. You're not in the normal state. You're not in the natural state. You're not in the divine state. If you're in the divine state, you stick to know and become unknowing. You become unknowing. When you become unknowing, then everything is known to you, and you know that the divine being, the divine self, and the divine personality you're talking about lives within you. So that's what is called the natural state and the divine state. And these are very important and easy to apply, easy to acquire, easy to apply. So every African in this era will be encouraged, every Nigerian will be encouraged to get up, to seek naturality, to seek divinity, which is within you, and which you can acquire, and which you can practice for the liberation of your country, for the liberation of humankind. Thank you very much.